Gaddafi once said, "The times of Arab nationalism and unity are gone forever." These words, uttered by the late Libyan leader, offer an unexpected segue into the world of Donald Trump, a man whose path, though continents apart, curiously intertwined with Gaddafi's. Now, you might be wondering, what could possibly link a flamboyant real estate mogul-turned-president from New York City to a military dictator ruling the sands of Libya? Well, the answer lies not in their shared ideologies, for those are worlds apart, but in their mutual understanding of a world that is increasingly fragmented and divisive. Gaddafi, a man of many contradictions, was known for his eccentricity as much as he was for his iron-fisted rule. He had a vision of a united Arab world, but ironically, his divisive tactics only further fractured it. His words, "The times of Arab nationalism and unity are gone forever," echo eerily in the divisive political climate that has swept across many parts of the world, including the United States under Trump's presidency. Now, let's shift our focus to Trump. A man who built his empire on real estate, reality TV, and branding, he ventured into politics with a slogan that resonated with many Americans: "Make America Great Again." Yet, his presidency, marked by a divide-and-conquer approach, arguably deepened the fractures within American society. So, where do their paths intersect? It's a tale of a real estate deal gone awry, of international politics, and of two men who, in their own ways, capitalized on a world that seems to have lost its appetite for unity. It's a tale that stretches from the golden sands of Libya to the glittering towers of Manhattan, a tale that offers lessons for those willing to look beyond the surface. So buckle up as we journey back in time, navigating the twists and turns of this unlikely duo's shared history. Let's delve into the chronicles of history to unravel this peculiar relationship. Gaddafi, the self-proclaimed brother leader, wasn't always at the helm. This charismatic figure rose from a humble background to become one of the most controversial leaders in the Arab world. Born into a Bedouin family in the harsh desert of Libya, Gaddafi's rise to power was a testament to his tenacity and cunning. In the late 1960s, Gaddafi, a young military officer, capitalized on the widespread discontent among Libyans against King Idris's rule. He led a bloodless coup, toppling the monarchy and establishing a revolutionary republic. His coup was a swift and decisive action that took the world by surprise, and it marked the beginning of his long and tumultuous reign. Gaddafi was an ardent believer in Arab nationalism and socialism. He sought to unite the Arab world under a single banner and pursued policies that prioritized the welfare of his people. He introduced free healthcare and education, and embarked on ambitious infrastructure projects. His Green Book, a political manifesto, outlined his unique blend of socialism and Islam, and it became the ideological foundation of his regime. His influence stretched beyond the borders of Libya. He was a strong advocate for pan-Arabism and endeavored to foster unity among Arab nations. He was a vocal critic of Western imperialism and was not shy about challenging global superpowers. His fiery speeches at international forums were a testament to his audacious spirit. However, Gaddafi's reign was not without controversy. His autocratic rule, his support for militant groups, and his alleged involvement in international terrorism drew heavy criticism. His radical policies, while popular among many Libyans, also earned him many enemies both at home and abroad. Gaddafi's rise to power was a complex tale of ambition, resilience, and controversy. He was a man who defied conventions and dared to dream big. But his dreams, while grand, were not always grounded in reality. His reign was a testament to his indomitable will, but it also sowed the seeds for his eventual downfall. Across the Atlantic, a different kind of leader was emerging. His name, Donald Trump, a name that would soon become synonymous with controversy and disruption. Born in Queens, New York, Trump was no stranger to the hustle and bustle of the city that never sleeps. His father, a real estate developer, set the stage for young Trump's entrance into the world of business. In the 70s, Trump took the reins of his father's company, rebranding it as the Trump Organization, and embarking on a series of high-profile real estate projects that would catapult him into the public eye. Trump's success in real estate was only the beginning. The 90s saw him become a television personality, starring in the reality TV show The Apprentice. His catchphrase, "You're fired," became a cultural touchstone, and his larger-than-life persona endeared him to millions. But it was in the realm of politics where Trump made his most audacious move. In 2015, he announced his candidacy for the presidency of the United States, running as a Republican. His campaign was like nothing America had seen before. It was brash, it was bold, and it was polarizing. Trump's rhetoric, often controversial and divisive, struck a chord with a segment of the American population who felt neglected and unheard. Against all odds, and to the astonishment of political analysts, Trump won the 2016 presidential election. His presidency was marked by a series of controversies, from allegations of Russian interference in the election to impeachment proceedings. Yet his supporters remained steadfast, viewing him as a champion of the people against the political establishment. Trump's journey to the White House was anything but conventional, much like his political career. His ascent to power shook the political landscape, forcing the world to grapple with a new kind of leader, a leader who, much like Gaddafi, would leave a lasting mark on the world stage. In a twist of fate, the paths of Gaddafi and Trump crossed. Now let's delve into the heart of the matter. The year was 2009, a time when real estate mogul Donald Trump was not yet the president of the United States, and Muammar Gaddafi was still the flamboyant and controversial leader of Libya. During this period, an intriguing deal was struck between these two unlikely figures, a deal that revolved around a seemingly innocuous piece of land in the affluent town of Bedford, New York. This piece of land was not meant for a luxurious mansion or a towering skyscraper, but for something far less ostentatious: a tent. Yes, you heard that right, a tent. Gaddafi, known for his predilection for Bedouin-style tents during his travels, needed a place to pitch his tent while attending the United Nations General Assembly in New York. Enter Donald Trump. The real estate mogul offered his property in Bedford for Gaddafi's unique accommodation needs. However, the whole affair soon turned into a fiasco. Local authorities intervened, citing zoning regulations, and the tent was dismantled before Gaddafi could even set foot in it. This incident became a controversial topic, drawing attention to the complex and often opaque dynamics of international politics and business. It's a reminder of how the lines between political power and monetary influence can blur, and how the world's most powerful figures can become entangled in the most unlikely of situations. The Gaddafi-Trump land deal was a peculiar episode in the grand scheme of their lives, a small but significant intersection of two paths that would go on to shape global politics in the years to come. It was, in essence, a symbol of the unpredictable, sometimes surreal world of international politics. This unlikely encounter is a testament to the unpredictable nature of international politics. As Gaddafi once predicted, the unity of the Arab world was indeed fleeting. The Arab Spring, a wave of both violent and non-violent demonstrations, protests, and rebellions in the Arab world, began at the tail end of 2010. It was a call for political and social change, a cry from the people who yearned for democracy. The reverberations of this monumental movement would reach Libya and its long-standing leader, Muammar Gaddafi. Gaddafi, who had ruled Libya with an iron fist for over 4 decades, found his grip on power slipping. The Libyan people, inspired by the successes of the Arab Spring in neighboring countries, began to rise against him. The once untouchable leader was now faced with a populace that was no longer afraid, but emboldened, demanding change. The international community, too, began to turn against Gaddafi. The United Nations Security Council passed Resolution 1973, authorizing a no-fly zone over Libya and all necessary measures to protect civilians. NATO, acting on this resolution, began a military intervention. Gaddafi's fall from power was swift. By August of 2011, rebel forces had taken control of the capital, Tripoli. Gaddafi, once an icon of anti-Western sentiment and pan-Arab unity, was now on the run. His final days were marked not by the grandeur he was accustomed to, but by desperation. In October, the world watched as Gaddafi met a violent end at the hands of the very people he once ruled over. It was a stark reminder of the power of the people when united by a common cause. His death marked the end of his 42-year rule, a rule marked by oppression, extravagance, and a unique political philosophy that left an indelible mark on Libya and the world. Gaddafi's downfall marked the end of an era, but its ripple effects are still felt today. The Arab Spring, Gaddafi's downfall, and his subsequent death all serve as potent reminders of the transient nature of power and the enduring spirit of the people's will. Just as Gaddafi's reign ended, Trump's was just beginning. As the world watched with bated breath, Donald Trump, a real estate tycoon and reality television star, ascended to the highest office in the United States. His presidency, marked by its uniqueness, was nothing short of controversial. From the outset, Trump's approach to politics was unconventional, to say the least. He frequently bypassed traditional media outlets, choosing instead to communicate directly with the public through social media. His tweets became the stuff of legend, sparking debates, inciting controversies, and sometimes causing diplomatic headaches. Trump's policies, too, were contentious. From the travel ban affecting predominantly Muslim countries to the push for a border wall with Mexico, many of his actions were met with widespread protests and legal challenges. But it wasn't just his domestic policies that raised eyebrows. His approach to international politics, particularly his admiration for authoritarian leaders and his dismissal of traditional allies, left many pondering the future of American diplomacy. Perhaps the most notable event of Trump's presidency was his impeachment, not once, but twice. The first impeachment, in December of 2019, accused him of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. The second, in January of 2021, charged him with incitement of insurrection following the storming of the Capitol. Although acquitted both times, these impeachments marked a significant moment in American political history. The aftermath of Trump's term was equally contentious. His refusal to concede the election and allegations of voter fraud led to a period of uncertainty and tension. The Capitol attack, a shocking event that will forever be etched in history, was a culmination of these tensions. Trump's presidency may have ended, but its impact continues to shape American politics. His term was a roller coaster ride of highs and lows, of victories and defeats, of unity and division. As we look back, we see a presidency like no other, one that has irrevocably altered the political landscape of the United States. The lessons from this era will undoubtedly continue to resonate for years to come. Both Gaddafi and Trump were controversial figures, but their stories offer valuable lessons. Let's delve into these stories. Muammar Gaddafi, once hailed as the King of Kings in Africa, had a reign marked by flamboyance and an iron fist. His divisive politics, not unlike those of Donald Trump, aimed to consolidate power by creating an US versus them narrative, often leading to societal division. This approach, while effective in the short run, can be detrimental to the unity of a nation in the long run, a lesson that echoes from the ruins of Gaddafi's Libya. Similarly, Donald Trump, the 45th President of the United States, employed a divisive political strategy. His rhetoric often polarized the American populace, leading to heightened social tensions. The lesson here is clear. Divisive politics, while potentially beneficial in terms of short-term gains, can lead to long-term instability. Now, moving on to the importance of checks and balances in power. Gaddafi's 42-year rule was characterized by a lack of such checks and balances, leading to an autocratic regime marked by human rights abuses and corruption. In contrast, Trump's presidency, though controversial, was held in check by the democratic institutions of the United States. Despite attempts to undermine these checks and balances, they held firm, protecting the democratic fabric of the nation. This stark contrast between Gaddafi and Trump's reigns underscores the importance of having robust checks and balances in any political system. It serves as a reminder that power without accountability can lead to the erosion of democratic values and human rights. In conclusion, the stories of Gaddafi and Trump, despite their differences, offer two central lessons. First, the dangers of divisive politics cannot be overstated. Second, the importance of checks and balances in power is crucial to the preservation of democracy and societal harmony. While their stories are unique, the lessons they offer are universal. Gaddafi and Trump, two controversial figures from different worlds, leave behind complex legacies. As we've walked through their stories, we've seen how their paths crossed, each leaving undeniable imprints on their respective nations and the world at large. Gaddafi, Libya's brother leader, with his revolutionary dreams, yet a reign marked by controversy. Trump, the business magnate turned president, whose leadership sparked intense debates. From Gaddafi, we learn the importance of maintaining human rights and the peril of unchecked power. From Trump, we observe the significance of diplomacy and the consequences of divisive rhetoric. Their journeys hold a mirror to our society, reflecting both our strengths and weaknesses. In the realm of politics, these figures serve as reminders that leadership is a responsibility, not a privilege. It's a delicate balance between personal ambition and the greater good. As we navigate the unpredictable world of politics, let's remember the lessons from these unlikely figures.